Most people, when you tell them you listen to video game music for fun, will probably just label you as a loser and never speak to you again. But I don't think those people have ever really sat down and listened to the soundtrack of their favorite games. In my case, I'll admit I've always listened to video game music fairly often, though today I'm here to talk about the Pikmin soundtrack. The Pikmin series is one I have a ton of nostalgia for since I've been playing the game since my elementary school years. My first Pikmin game was Pikmin 2, which I got back around 4th grade. Back then, I didn't really have the interest in music that I do now, so the music didn't really mean anything to me when I played the game initially. I think we can all agree though that as you grow up, music can make you feel things, whether that's nostalgia, sadness, or joy. So without any further ado, I want you to sit back, relax, and let's have a chat about music, shall we? The music of Pikmin makes me feel a variety of things. It helps me to relax and unwind. It helps me to focus sometimes. There's been times where it made me miss my childhood. One song in particular that always seems to get me is the Piklopedia theme from Pikmin 2. There's something about the chillness of this song that just makes me miss the simpler times in life. Maybe it's because we've been in quarantine for nearly a year now at this point, but the song never fails to make me feel really emotional in some capacity. Now, strangely enough, my feelings about Pikmin's music really only apply to Pikmin 2 for whatever reason. Pikmin 1 and 3 have excellent songs that I love listening to, but they don't really move me in the same way that Pikmin 2's songs do. Like I said a little while ago, Pikmin 2 was my first experience with the series, and while I don't think it's the best Pikmin game, it carries a sense of wonder and amazement with it that I haven't experienced anywhere else, other than maybe Breath of the Wild. I think it's mainly because I just played it at the perfect time in my life. Our childhoods are a time of curiousness and hopefully joy, and Pikmin captures that aspect perfectly. Whenever I listen to the soundtrack, it takes me right back to my childhood, and that's just a beautiful feeling. So the reason I suspect that Pikmin 1's music doesn't hit as hard for me is because that's the last game in the series that I had played, which was around the time I was 14 I think, so way past the age for nostalgia. The theme for the enemy reel though and the Forest of Hope will always hold a special place in my heart though, because those are just genuinely good tracks in my opinion. So about Pikmin 3, this game I know exactly why the music isn't my cup of tea exactly. That isn't to say it's bad in any way, just that it's not as enjoyable. That reason being that Pikmin 3's music is too new. Now I know that sounds dumb, and it is, but there's something about the synthesized sound of Pikmin 1 and 2's music that just makes it leagues better in my opinion. Coupled with the fact that the first two games' soundtracks are also more dynamic. I've done a bit of digging around for info about the game's soundtracks, and assuming I understand this correctly, Pikmin 1 and 2's soundtracks are much more malleable. Different instruments can be introduced dynamically with the environment, whereas with Pikmin 3, it's all pre-recorded music. A fair comparison would be, say, following a cake recipe that's written on the box, versus adding your own personal spin on it. It isn't always true, but straying away from the beaten path, or measure in this occasion, can be very beneficial sometimes. Having music that isn't always the same allows for more creativity, and in Pikmin's case really helps the series to find its own identity. At its core, Pikmin is about exploring and appreciating nature. And in real life, nature is constantly evolving. A flower that's blooming one day may be gone the next. Now, while Pikmin 3's music undoubtedly sounds more realistic and true to life, it lacks the scrappy and crafty quality of the original games, which I feel reflects life just that much better. Alrighty, I think that's all I have to say about the music of Pikmin. But what do you think of it? How does Pikmin's music make you feel? Or if Pikmin isn't your thing, in that case, I don't know why you're watching this video, but what's your favorite game soundtrack? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching, please drop a comment or like, and consider subscribing for more content. As always, have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Also, can you believe that the Pikmin will sing their theme song, I Know Uta, when you have 20 of each color in the party? Who would have thought?